Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good night, good whatever. I am your host, Jason Weiss. You are at the Ask Jason Weiss show, where we talk about legal, coaching, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about trading and hands-free. So before we get started, I got to give my normal disclaimer that I give every single time, that nothing discussed today constitutes legal advice. Should you need legal advice, consult an attorney directly. If anything you hear today, it's not legal advice. There is no attorney-client privilege created by you listening to the show or you chiming in. I'm also going to go ahead and give a little disclosure today where our guest is Dillon Del Rosso, who is going to be talking about hands-free trading and PeakBot. Nothing he gives today will be investment advice or anything along those. Speak to your investor, research your own trades, and do not rely upon anything he says except checking out what PeakBot is. So with that being said, we're going to bring Dillon up front in this broadcast. And so I know Dillon through LinkedIn. We got connected through a mutual colleague of ours who happens to be an attorney who will be on in 2 weeks. Yes, I got Alice coming on in 2 weeks. Nice. So she's going to talk about intellectual property. I think she's on the patent side or the trademark side. She'll talk about all that. But so through Alice, I met Dillon, and Dillon is a go-getter. That's the word that I use. He goes out there and he gets it, and I love it. And it's something that I'm just finished having a conversation about my son, that I want him to be more of that go-getter type and go out there and get it. So without further ado, Dillon Del Rosso is here, and I'm not going to screw it up because I screwed up last time I introduced him. I spelled his name wrong, so shame on me. So Dillon, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we all want to know hands-free trading and PeakBot, what that is. But tell us a little bit about you.
Amazing. Well, Jason, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you for not messing up my name, Dillon. However, Jason, since you're a good buddy of mine, I'll shoot you straight. It's Del Rosso, not Del Rosso, but nobody gets that right. All good. Anyway, pleasure to be here. A little quick background on myself. I'm from northern New Jersey, your typical loudmouth Italian. I played sports growing up, you name it. I was a baseball player primarily. Went to school out in Pennsylvania at a school nobody's ever heard of called Misericordia University. However, played baseball there, studied sport management, graduated back in 2016, got into the world of sports sales, which was amazing until the pandemic hit. No more sweets to sell. For any Jets fans out there, sorry and congrats. But I have pivoted. The COVID made me an entrepreneur, much like many other people. And I haven't looked back. So as you mentioned, I'm one of the 3 co-founders of PeakBot. We are a fintech startup company that's been around for about 2.5 years. We are in the stock trading space.
So for people that are not watching and do not see it, it is PeakBot. So when you're checking it out and want to see what PeakBot is, it's not PEE, it's PeakBot. PeakBot.
Yes. Like a mountain peak?
It's on his shirt. He was wearing a hat before, but we all wanted to see, more of his face. So PeakBot. Okay, so tell us what is PeakBot other than it's fintech, which
absolutely
tell our listeners, because I only learned what fintech was recently. So give us a little education on fintech and what PeakBot can do and what we hope PeakBot will do.
Amazing. So fintech, just short for financial technology. So think of any piece of technology, whether it's commercial usage or for the individual consumer, technology to help finance. Now, we're more focused on the individual consumer and more personal finance, right? So what PeakBot, the angle in which we take here is automating the stock trading process for the everyday person, AKA the retail trader, right, Jason? So what PeakBot does is it's an app. or a website, just like anything else. And what you do is you go and create an account here with us, and you actually connect your PeakBot account to your trading brokerage. So we actually partner with TD Ameritrade. They're the largest retail broker on the planet, just like any other app, Robinhood or E-Trade or Webull or any of these brokers, right? So we actually execute the trade on behalf of the retail trader. So what that means is you pick the stocks, our bots do the rest, right, Jason? Look, I told you, I come from the sports world. I sit in sales meetings all day long. You're doing attorney work. People are busy. Who has the time to stare at a stock chart all day and make trades? And even if you could, you got to know what you're doing. And so certainly there's a 1% of the population maybe who has the freedom and the intelligence and the wherewithal to handle all that on top of their busy lives. The other 99% is who we're going after to say, look, $20 a month, we're a subscription business. $20 a month, put a stock trader in your pocket. Hands-free trading is what we like to call it, Jason. So while you and I are chatting here, middle of the day, I'm in Eastern Standard Time, it's 12 o'clock. I'm normally eating lunch or I'm in a sales meeting, and I get a little buzz in my pocket. Oh, PeakBot just executed a trade for you. You just bought 6 shares of Amazon. Or
now let me go backwards a little bit. I am not a sophisticated investor. I am not, and I'm not just putting this scenario out there. I'm telling the truth. I am not. I have a retirement account, and I have some stocks, and I have some that. But how do you know? How do I know if I should be buying stock X at $5 a share, or will it go to $3 a share, or how do I set my parameters? Like, where do I learn that?
Yep.
So that PeakBot becomes invaluable to me.
Amazing. Great question. So one of PeakBot's, our pillars are educate, automate, and elevate, right? Hey.
Wait, say that one more time.
It was pretty brilliant, right? Yeah. Educate, automate, elevate, right? Because we know PeakBot's built for the active trader and the new trader alike, right? Whether you've been trading for 10 years or this is how you want to get into trading, PeakBot can, well, we're not financial advisors. So again, not financial advice. Thanks
and we
for that.
put that disclaimer out there when we started. Nothing here is a stock tip or a stock advice or I like it. CC put it up. Nothing you hear today regarding trading is advice. You should seek financial and trading professional advice. What's discussed here is a conversational interview, and we're talking about a tool that could assist you, but not what you should rely upon. All right, I'm going to shut up and let the guy talk now.
You nailed it. So to answer your question, since we can't pick stocks for you, what we can do is a little bit of hand holding. So what we provide is something called our watch lists. So if you're a trader, maybe you've heard that term before. It's essentially a list of stocks that we built on the same criteria. We built scanners, essentially, without getting too nerdy. We built a system that says, hey, built on the same criteria as our algorithms or bots, we want to see what stocks technically pair well on paper. So we update that every week. It's on our website. It's on our socials. So the whole idea for PeakBot, right? We want to save you time and money while eliminating fear and greed. So if you said, hey, Dillon, look, I'm a new stock trader. I don't want to take the next 10 hours or 10 months to learn how to trade. I just want to get active and get in the market, get my money off the bench. Okay. Go check out our watch lists. Maybe definitely always do a little bit of your own research. Don't just, trust us completely. Look, there's losers everywhere. But our whole idea is to get you in on 75% of the uptrend and keep you out of 75% of the downtrend. So while you're at work or you're traveling or you're on a plane or you're sitting in traffic or whatever it is, if things start going down or up, our bot knows, and it's actively scanning the market, and it will actually execute the trade for you.
So you can't fault me for this one, but I literally watched Trading Places on Tuesday, the movie, and I remember when Eddie Murphy's character Valentine comes in, and you got the two brothers that are sitting there, and they're like, "Let's sell." And Eddie Murphy's like, "No, you wait." And he goes through this whole thing and watching. And he's like, "Mortimer, Valentine just saved us $20,000. So I'm guessing, can you program your bot to say, I want to buy Ford Motor Company stock when it gets to $7 a share. And when it hits $7 a share, you're saying the bot will go in and boom.
So yes and no. Yes, if you wanted to add the stock, it's going to, our bots have built in adaptive, what it's called, profit targets and stop losses. So exactly what you're saying. If you get in and you want it, Ford to go from 5 to 7, well, you're not picking where you want it to exit. The bot has predetermined that for you, and it's adaptive because not every stock is exactly the same, right? We're looking for stocks that do this because we want to get in low and get out high. However, we actually in beta, Jason, we've been in business 2.5 years. In beta, at one point, we actually allowed the trader to select the profit target and the stop loss themselves. Horrible idea. We only did that for about a week or two, and then people were demanding we got rid of it because they were shooting themselves in the foot, right? Look, we don't need scared money over here with PeakBot. If you're going to come in and set a 2% stop loss on every single trade, guess what? You're probably going to see a lot of trades that just lose 2%. You got to give the thing a little bit of room to breathe, right? So that's our whole strategy. Set it and forget it. Like, we don't need anybody coming in here and truthfully, I don't think you need to go and change your stocks on PeakBot every day or even every week or every month. We want to come in here and automate this for you. You'll get an email every Saturday with your results. Okay. Hey, here's how PeakBot did for you. Here's how many trades we executed on your behalf. Here's the stocks that we traded. And here's your average return. So, Jason, we are fully transparent. I believe, truthfully, we're the only algorithm provider on the planet, you won't quote me on this, but who provides our full list of trader results. Nobody else does that. Good, the bad, the ugly. You want to know how somebody's doing on PeakBot? Go to our website. Here's the answer.
Gotcha.
And it also acts as a extension of a watch list because you might say, you know what, I'm thinking about trading Tesla. And then you go to our results and you see anybody who had Tesla was down at the bottom, or maybe they're at the top. And it all just depends on what you want to do with that information. So I'm rambling, but the whole idea is to, again, put a stock trader in your pocket.
Right. And that's what it sounds like. So, I'm sure you get this all the time. Like, I have, the person that I've been working with, for my entire life, and I'm 60 years old, and I only want to use that broker. No thanks, no thanks. Well, would it make sense for you to say, hey, who's your broker? Do you mind if I speak with him or her so that I could just tell them about PeakBot? Like, this sounds like it could be for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, all the way up to the professional traders that know what they're doing, so that if they're on a plane, they can fly at 2:00 in the afternoon or 4:00 in the afternoon before the market closes. So, I mean, who am I wrong? I mean, does PeakBot, is it a one size fits all, or?
Yeah, so to kind of answer a couple of the things you mentioned there, first of all, our only broker that we integrate is TD Ameritrade. Now, we're a young company. That's going to change to where hopefully PeakBot is integrated with any financial broker app that you have, we can integrate with on the back end.
I have my own guy who I've known since 20 years old. So
your money manager would want to.
And it's not hard to manage the $76 that I have. So it's not a big deal. And he's making, 7 cents profit off me per year. So,
Well, but you actually bring up a good point there. Financial advisors, look, I'm a 28-year-old in New Jersey. I like to think I do pretty well for myself. I'm certainly no superstar, but I can't get the attention of a financial advisor. I don't have $150,000 in my bank account that they can go take a piece of my pie out of. So, one of the main questions we always get is, hey, what do I need to get started with PeakBot? How much? What's the investment here? And truthfully, if you have $2,500 sitting in your savings account, just getting beat up by inflation right now, or maybe otherwise you're trying to manually trade that while you're living your busy life, you should be using PeakBot. And for anything less than that, truthfully, look, you can come to PeakBot and trade with $500. Be my guest. But you are paying a subscription, right? You're paying $20 or $40 a month. So in order to make your return plus some, that you're happy with, you got to put a little bit of money to work. So the answer really, our average account size is anywhere from about $2,000 to $15,000. And there's certainly some outliers, with big accounts who are paying for our tier 3 subscription. And all we're doing is stocks and options. We don't do any crypto, no futures or Forex. Like, we're almost the Trojan horse here, right? It's like everybody's so concerned about NFTs. And I mean, that's an old story now, but automation and crypto and everything. We're just like, look,
what happened to NFTs? Like all these people that own millions of dollars in NFTs. I had a friend, he's like, yeah, I own $10 million portfolio in an NFT. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Oh, let me show you. And he scrolls up on his phone. He's like, I own that. I'm like, what is that? That's an image that I could pay my graphic designer $200 to design, and I can own it too.
Exactly. Look, regardless, the angle we took was, hey, the average Joe Schmo off the street probably knows that Amazon's a publicly traded stock, and that if they had a couple dollars and they didn't have to do anything to watch it, that they could, let me go and invest in Amazon. Yeah. Now, the buy and hold, where, you talk to a lot of people, they're like, yeah, I got a couple stocks in my account. I just hold on to them. Yeah, great. Love that strategy. In fact, although PeakBot actively is swing trading, so these are short-term trades, Jason, you hold a position, for a couple days to a week. Now, we're not doing any day trading that, just want to put that out there.
Right.
That's a whole nother level. You need more than like 25K in your account, which a lot of people do, but not our customer, right? So anyway, I don't want to ramble too much, but again, like, if you work with a financial advisor and they're managing your account in TD Ameritrade, then this is something you might want to talk to them about. I'll be transparent with you. We're working with financial advisors and wealth managers across the country, right? Like, this is a consumer-facing product, but I'm trying to figure out how we scale this thing. And if we approach financial advisors, same message to them, by the way, Jason. It's like, hey, you don't want to be spending all this time managing your clients' portfolios. You should be growing your business. You should be going and earning new business, not sitting here doing this all day. And by the way, whether it's the financial advisor or the individual sitting at home who's listening to this thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe I can automate some stock trading and make a few more bucks supplemental throughout the year. Like, we understand it's a little scary, right? Because it's new. It's a robot. Robots are taking over the world. No, look, this is a bunch of if-then statements. These are hedge fund level algorithms that we're making available to the everyday person. Dude, we ain't rocking any like high tech, rocket engineering here. This is a bunch of if-then statements, right? We've coded an algorithm. If this happens, then this happens. So you can trust that PeakBot, look, not a get-rich-quick thing. This isn't Wall Street bets. We're not going to, go return you 200% after a month. If we can beat the market on a weekly basis, which we do, 70 to 80% of our traders beat the S&P every week. That's our goal. So
small steps.
Baby steps.
Small steps, baby steps. Whatever it is that gets it done, helps maybe people get their feet in the door, understand the market a little bit. Again, I don't think the seasoned trader, other than the automated portion, I don't know if PeakBot is for them, because they want to pick their stocks. They want to pick their this. They know I've been doing this 50 years. Get it, got it.
And then they look at our results, and they can't argue with it. I take my time with those people. I got to do a little bit extra massaging to say, look, even if you are going to stare at a stock chart all day, no reason PeakBot shouldn't be running free in the background. That's a common misconception. People are thinking, PeakBot wants to come take over my whole portfolio. Absolutely not. This is for your fun money. Or for, that money that you're willing to lose. People don't like to talk about it that way, but this is an investment, right? Like, there's risks associated.
There's got to be an amount you're comfortable doing. If someone asks me for a loan and hey, can I borrow $100? I'd probably just go ahead and lend that person the $100. And if I never got it back, I'd be okay. Right. Hey, can I borrow $2,500? Don't know if I'm in the spot to give you $2,500. I'll pay you back. Yeah. Don't know. Just my wife, she likes to hit the slot machines when we're at the casino. She goes in with $100 bill. When the $100 bill is done, we leave. That's the way to do it. And it's good self-control. And that's what it is. So self-control being spoken about here, we got to get ready for a commercial because we're having so much fun talking about PeakBot. But I do want to talk about a couple of the other ventures that you've got going on, and anything we didn't cover in PeakBot, we'll do when we get back. So we're going to run to a commercial right now. Everybody hang tight. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Dillon, don't go anywhere because we're going to be talking about PeakBot and one or two other projects you're involved in.
Will do.
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, good everything. I'm Jason Weiss, Ask Jason Weiss Show. I am an attorney, but nothing I talk about today is deemed to be legal advice. Should you need legal advice, consult an attorney directly. I also have with me Dillon, and Dillon is talking about a couple of things here having to do with hands-free trading and PeakBot, and nothing that he talks about is investment advice. And nothing can be considered that. So I think we touched on this question, but limited funds, minimum amount that they could start with investing with PeakBot. I think that we said it was like there's no real minimum, but you should probably think about that $2,500 and keep in mind it's a $20 a month subscription fee. Do you have to pay anything other than that $20 a month? Is there like a per trade fee or anything like that?
Yeah, great question. And you're spot on. The $2,500, $2,000 is the industry standard to be able to trade with margin. And we don't have to get into that, but that's just your ability to clear your trades right away. So when you're trading with an algorithm that's trying to get into the next position, we don't want it knocking on a locked door because your money's held up. So that's why we say the $2,500. What was your other question with that? Per trade, I know, when my guy is trading my $76, he might make a penny a trade. You made $1 since we, in the last 2 minutes. I think you said $74, $75.
No, 76.
Oh, okay, you're right at it. So So TD Ameritrade, which is the broker we integrate with, on the equity side, just for typical stock trading, no equities, no commissions. So there's no additional fees there. Now, we do have 2 options bots for anybody who does options trading. There is like a 65-cent fee for entering into options contracts. So that's there. But options traders are used
so
to
you'd
that.
probably want to go to 2,500 because that would probably cover you for 6 months plus all the little, fees there and to keep you at that $2,000 knocking on a locked door threshold.
Yeah, we just look, we say 2,500 because it gives us a little bit of breathing room. What's the worst is when somebody comes in with exactly $2,000 and then their first trade on day 2 is a loser, and now they're at 1,900 something, and now you don't have margin. So we like to just build in that little buffer. But yeah, outside of that, no fees. It's not like a financial advisor where we're taking a percentage of your gains or anything. You're just paying PeakBot, as you mentioned earlier, as a tool to click for you while you're living your life.
So do I just go to use PeakBot or PeakBot.com and just fill out a form and give you my money and that's it?
Yeah, so it's incredibly simple. And that's the whole approach, right? We want this to be easy. Use peakbot.com. You can create an account, and we have a 2-week free trial for everybody. No credit card needed. If you have
that's only if you're listening today. That's that's what it is. Listen to the show and rate him on YouTube. Use peakbot.com /Weiss. No, I'm kidding.
No, seriously, here's what we'll do. I'll give you a coupon code. Anybody listening to this show, live or not live, use code Ask Jason, all caps. I'll create it as soon as we end it here. Ask Jason, all caps. That'll get you 50% off your first quarterly subscription. So we charge quarterly instead of monthly. So $60 a quarter, now $30 a quarter, $10 a month. Come and get it a try. You still got a 2-week free trial for anybody. So
hey, there you go. So you got 2 weeks and 50% off. Couldn't ask for much more. Damn. So that's awesome. So Dillon, one of the things that when you and I were introduced through Alice, one of the things that we started this on, and what got me into that entrepreneurial mindset that you have is we were working with companies that do credit card processing. And I know we're switching gears a little bit. We'll go back to PeakBot, but I'm assuming, and we didn't plan this out, you're still, running your trades and running your stuff with Merchant Advocate. Is that correct?
Yes. So, I'm a networker at heart, right? So to kind of what you're saying, yeah, my bots are operating and selling and buying for me in the background while I do whatever I do. And so, yes, I am a passionate connector of people in business. So the first company that we actually got connected on was by the name of Merchant Advocate.
Yep.
So you mentioned credit card processing. It certainly lives in that world. However, Merchant Advocate is not a credit card processor. What they are is an auditor. So if you think of the name of the business, Merchant Advocate, what they do is they want to be an advocate for you, the merchant. So what they do is they take basically, and this is a completely free service, which trips some people up, but this is all.
No, I can vouch for it because I've had 1 or 2 of my clients at least go through the process. I think maybe 3. One of them possibly did something. The other 2, they said, thank you very much for your work and have a nice day. And that was it. Dillon plugged me a little bit, which, it was okay. I deserved it. But at the end of the day, it was no pressure, no hassle, no nothing.
No. And look, so what Merchant Advocate does is they basically take your business's last couple financial statements, which is all you need to do this. Just provide them with your statements. And what they do is they analyze, adjust, and audit for you. So they're going to analyze your financial statements because what they're doing is they're analyzing your current credit card processor. Now, even in 2023, when you stick that little piece of plastic in a credit card machine, your money's going a million different directions. And it's impossible to track every penny. It's not something, there's always money being lost, hidden fees, errors, transactions that occur, something's going wrong. So on average, a business that, does more than $20,000 a month in credit card transactions, there's a lot of the time there's money that they're missing. And so what Merchant Advocate does is it takes your financial statements, they analyze it completely within 24 to 48 hours. That's the other thing. It's a quick turnaround. Yep. They've built a system or algorithm. I don't know exactly, but they've built a system to analyze your financial statements to determine, hey, here's where your errors are. We can save you this per month, right? Just by going, they represent you. They go to your credit card processor and they say, hey, look, we're going to negotiate with you. Our client, you owe them this. Let's please get that back for them. And that's quite literally what they do. So they do a monthly audit of your credit card statements to make sure that there's no pennies on the dollar that are getting missed. And once they go and do the audit, the savings that come back go directly to you. So that's kind of the setup.
Well, the savings that they get go directly to you, but how do me, as I don't take credit cards, but how does my business that takes credit cards, how do we pay Merchant Advocate? There's got to be a fee involved.
You don't. What Merchant Advocate does is they negotiate every plan, or they negotiate every contract specifically. So they're a business. The way Merchant Advocate operates is they're taking a percentage of your savings that they're returning to you, right?
So it's like a contingency in a legal case.
If there's savings, since we're doing all the hard work here for you and you're not paying us for it, we'll take our piece of the pie. But, they're the modern day Robin Hood, not the trading app, like the fairy tale. They're returning your money back. We're just saying, hey, we know how to do this. Let's do it for you. And since we, made this happen, we'll take our cut. But always.
And what's an expected cut? Give a range.
Truthfully, I don't want to, just because I don't want to speak on their behalf.
There you go.
It ranges. It totally ranges. Believe me, the business exists to get you your money back. They're not going to sit here and take it all away from you.
And they're very transparent, because I know with the client that went ahead and did it, they said, hey, we can save you. I'm just going to throw out a random number. We could save you $1,000 a month. Yeah. And you're going to be able to see $500 a month in your bank account, showing up. So basically, and again, I made it up. On that one, it could have been 50%. It could be 40%.
Exactly.
It could be 10%. It could be, I guess it's going to depend, and it's a case by case basis. I'm a huge movies guy. And as you're telling me about Merchant Advocate, and I'm remembering again, I think it was Superman, I want to say 3 or Superman 2 with Richard Pryor.
Gotcha.
It was Superman and Richard Pryor. And the whole thing was that on every transaction the government or anybody was doing, there was half a penny missed. Because like with sales tax in Florida, it used to be 6.5%. Right. So what would happen? You'd be charged 7%. But half a penny technically went somewhere. And all of that money, Richard Pryor was able to come up with a formula and put it all into his bank account.
Amazing.
And he redirected it. So I think that's what Merchant Advocate is doing legally. They are
for business. Yeah.
I mean, I work with a company that it's a waste company. And you're picking up biohazard, recycling, normal trash, whatever it is. Oh, but I've used my garbage company forever and ever. Great, keep using them. Let my client just see your statement. Oh, you're being charged a gas fee and a this fee and a that fee. They don't do that anymore. That should have been adjusted. That's going to save you $82 a month. We're going to take $40. You keep $42. Really? So that's basically what it is. It's Robin Hood. It's evening the playing. Not taking from the rich and giving to the poor, but not giving up what's rightfully yours.
Yeah, leveling the playing field. That's exactly right. And one of the really nice things about that business is what's interesting is, their leadership team is very smart about building strategic relationships with individuals like us. Hey, Jason, you and I are not walking around with a Merchant Advocate polo on trying to sell you our credit card audit services. And guess what? That works. Because when you talk credit card audit, you go to your business. I'm in Jersey. I go to my local pizzeria and I say, hey, Frank, I got this savings for you. You're going to have to check out this credit card audit. I'm not asking, I'm telling, right? You need a relationship there. If I was to just walk into a business, they're going to assume that I'm just trying to sell them another credit card processor. And that's the thing. You don't have to change your processor. That's the nightmare for every business owner. It's like every 3 or 4 years, it's a merry-go-round. Okay, I got to get a new credit card processor because they're going to have lower fees or they're passing my fees on to my customer. You don't have to change any of that. We're saying, look, if you're getting screwed even just on a penny or two here or there, keep it. Keep the system because we have the Band-Aid and we're going to continuously do this for you every month. But the point I was making is, look, they understand that handing over your financial statements is not something that everybody's easily willing to do off the bat. But if I came in and I'm a friend of the business and I'm saying again, look, you trust me and I trust them, let's do this. And they're really smart about making relationships.
And again, you don't have to show your bank account or anything like that. It's really just your credit card processing statement. That's all they really want to see. They want to see what fees you're getting and all of that. It was not that painful to turn it over. I mean, I made the decision to stop taking credit cards just because that's what it is. But I had 2 clients a month that were paying by credit cards, and they were small little amounts. So it's interesting. So what else you got going on? What are some of the other projects out there? That, Mr. New Jersey, 28 years old, busting his butt, knocking on doors, kissing babies. Come on, what else you got?
You know what? I am, as I mentioned, I'm really passionate about networking and meeting people like you, Jason, and coming on shows like this. This is what I'm built for. This is what I love to do. And what, frankly, I think more people need to get out of their shell and do. We're in this wild time to be a human being, right? Regardless of anything. And however, it's never been easier to go and be a resource for somebody or help connect the dots, right? Jason, you and I, we were strangers until we weren't. There was no real reason for our paths to cross when they did, other than somebody else, Alice, going out of her way, getting to know you, getting to know me, and then afterwards saying, boy, I think Dillon and Jason would probably get along pretty well, and I bet there's business that they can do for each other. That's what I'm out here doing. On top of PeakBot, on top of anything else, I love connecting people in business because the Band-Aid has been ripped off. The COVID pandemic, look, 3 years ago, Dillon Del Rosso, even before I had this polo on, wasn't going to be able to walk into your business and say, hey, I have people to introduce you to, customers or partners. Let me intro you. No, there was too much corporate tape and hoops to jump through and all this stuff. They didn't care. However, pandemic goes and shakes up the whole planet and the infrastructure of how people operate and do business, and the costs keep going up. So now it's like, look, if Dillon Del Rosso knows somebody for our business and he can put that on our desk, let's just make it happen. Here's a referral agreement. The referral agreement's been around a long time, but let me tell you, they're handing them out like hotcakes now. I got a stack like this of referral agreements of businesses says, hey, you can bring me a customer, I'll give you 5% recurring. You can bring me a customer, 10%, because they'd otherwise have to be doing it themselves, right?
So Dillon, what platform on social do you think is best? I know, I have my opinion, but I'm at a different stage of my life. Meaning I'm old. But what do you find? And then I'll chime in with my opinion because I don't want to taint yours.
No worries. Look, LinkedIn is the easy answer, right?
That's the one that I like.
Yeah, that's my dojo. I've had over the last 5 years, I feel like I've had like 3 different LinkedIn careers, meaning like just my approach to LinkedIn has changed a number of times, right? Like truthfully for me, look, I could go out and post a lot of great LinkedIn content and get a lot of engagement and build my brand. And that is the angle for some people. But for me, I'm a relationship guy. I need to meet people. I need to get to understand what they're doing. I need them to understand what I'm doing. And the quickest way for me to do that, I just live in the DMs. Sure, there were years ago I was making my own content, and but it takes time. You know what doesn't take time? Opening up LinkedIn on your phone, opening up a message to somebody that you're interested in connecting with, Dude, LinkedIn has an audio message, right? Like our text messages have now. I'm out there sending these audio messages. Hey, what's going on, Jason? Dillon Del Rosso here with PeakBot. Hope you're well. Just wanted to get. They have no idea you can even get
Correct.
an audio message.
And
They're like,
and there are other things, like little things. I was in I'm part of a group. It's called the Outlier Project. It's run by Scott McGregor and a couple of other just phenomenal people. And they were saying yesterday, like, you can invest a little bit of time and money and get on someone's radar. Well, how do you do that? Well, half of the world these days writes books. So go on Amazon, spend $18, buy the book, read it, and comment.
Yeah.
How awesome would it be that, hey, Dillon wrote a book. I'm one of the only 3 people on the planet who's commented on it.
Yep.
Wow. Never thought of that. That gets you that audience. That gets you that credibility. That person now went, wait, he bought my book, he read my book, and he took the time to comment. Damn, that guy's got it going on.
You nailed it. And you're bringing up something subconsciously here that I think is so important just in general in life, but definitely in business and networking and professionalism. You can't ask for anything in return. You have to be okay. Go network, go connect with people, lead with a give first mentality, get to know them. Hey, tell me about you. Tell me about your business. Tell me about your kid. I know your kids. They're crushing it on the lacrosse field, right? Like I know Jason. And guess what? When I went and met Jason, I didn't ask for anything in return, genuinely. And there's a big difference. You draw a big line in the sand, because people are going to get this. And you were like shaking your head. They're like, yeah, that's exactly right. Let's not be selfish and ask for something in return. Just saying it is one thing. Meaning it is a complete other thing.
Right. And don't keep a scorecard.
No.
Keep a lineup card. And what I mean by a lineup card or a cheat sheet, write down that, okay, it's Dillon without an I. It's Del Rosso, not Del Rosso. It's he wears glasses. He wears a hat. He likes collared shirt. You know that. So if I'm going to go ahead and I got one of my kids, long pole for life t-shirts, well, if Dillon's a collared shirt guy, well, guess what? When I send him a shirt to say thank you or support the charity, I'm going to make up a collared shirt for it. Or
exactly. Yeah.
Or like you said, it's about giving. There's a book out there. It's called Giftology. I've heard that title 4 times now. I don't think I have it on my bookcase behind me. I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to see what it's about. So, Dillon, we are getting close to the end here. And I usually throw out like the hardest question of the day, like what's the best movie for a lawyer to watch, or what's this, or what's that. If I'm going to do something different today, I'm going to end it with, okay, so somebody that doesn't know about trading, someone doesn't know about all of that, but it just sounds neat. PeakBot. Where do they go? What do they do? And how, if they had a specific question about PeakBot, do they reach out to you?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for that. There's a couple things. Go to our website, use peakbot.com. We have endless resources and information on how to get started trading with PeakBot. But one unique thing that I believe we offer that nobody else has the time or patience for, get time on my calendar. I just sent a link. It's Calendly, which maybe you're familiar with. Everybody has their own calendar link.
Yep.
Calendly.com/PeakBot. You're getting 10 to 15 minutes one-on-one with one of our co-founders. Ask us anything. Like, we want you to poke holes in this. We want you to come to us with your questions and concerns because we're building this with you in mind. If you don't like how something happened or you didn't like this trade, I don't want you to sulk about it yourself. Come to me. Tell me, and guess what? Next week, you're going to see a better bot and better customer service, and that's it. So anybody who wants to know anything about PeakBot, go to this link, and you'll get this guy right here.
So Calendly.com/PeakBot. You can also find Dillon on LinkedIn. He said that's one of his preferred. So it's Dillon Del, Del Rosso, Rosso. reach out on LinkedIn. He's also on TikTok. Look at that, @use PeakBot. That's the TikTok account.
Yes.
And that's it. You can always reach out to me if any of the information didn't come through clearly or you need more. But Dillon is here. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of mine. I plan on being up in the New Jersey area this summer as we start some college tours. So Dillon, I'll speak to you way before then, but I plan on meeting him in person. And that is it. So Dillon, I will ask one quick question.
Yes.
I don't know if you're a reader or not. Are you a reader?
I'm getting better. What, are you going to ask me my favorite book?
What are you currently reading?
Two things. The Daily Stoic and Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is a popular one by James Clear.
Yep.
I got it right here. Oh, yeah. Let's both flex our Atomic Habits book.
Got it. Hey,
So,
wait. Now it's been open for the first time.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't actually read it, but it's and that's one of my Atomic Habits is not reading. But the other one is the Daily Stoic. I forget who writes that, but you want to know what I love about it? It's a 1-page read a day. You go in, you read your quote, they give a breakdown on that quote, and that's it. So that's the type of reading for me. And it gives you a good reset and kind of some large picture.
I'm finishing up Who Will Cry When You Die by Robin Sharma. Okay. Also, about 3 to 4 pages a day. Good read, motivational stuff, gets you out there. I'm waiting for the PeakBot user manual so I can go ahead and read all about that. Again, find Dillon, use PeakBot on TikTok, calendly.com/PeakBot. Find him on LinkedIn. And if you've got questions about tradings and futures and other things that he mentioned, he'll do his best. But remember, use PeakBot.com, use Ask Jason as your code, and you'll get a couple dollars back in your pocket. And that's it. He's an incredible guy. Pick his brain. Let him network, let him help you save money, make money, and go New York Giants. I mean, Jets.
Oh, no. Go Jets. Thank you so much for having me, Jason. Really appreciate it.
CC, thank you for everything you do, making this show possible. And we did mention our common friend who introduced us, Alice. Alice is going to be on this show in 2 weeks. So look out, March 9th. Alice is going to be here. Thank you, CC, for everything. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Dillon, I'll be in touch. Hang tight. Take care, everyone.
See you at the peak.